So remember, in my last review, I said that this was going to be a powder keg, just waiting to explode. Whoever lights the match first, gets the explosion. Little did I know that there was going to be a relay of sorts on explosions. Each side has their own relay of explosions. And they might just volley back and forth. Which, that volley will be some very, very interesting television, to say the least. I'm Daniel Strunk. Welcome back to QuickTime Reactions. And welcome to my review of Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 3, which is entitled The Scales and the Sword. We have brand new people on this. The last two were written by Dario Scardapane and directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. But we have a completely new team on this one. The person who wrote the episode is Heather Belson, and the director is Sullivan Slick Nam. I hope I pronounced his last name correctly. Naim. Nam. I think that might be correct. We'll see. But yes, each side has basically their setup. Daredevil and Karen, Matt and Karen, are basically going up against a brick wall in terms of, going up against the government and Fisk. So they decide they're just going to try and get access to the Freeport some way, somehow. Meanwhile, Fisk is trying to get all of the weaponry off the Northern Star, as well as stopping any potential leaks of any sort of, wrongdoings from getting out, not only onto the internet, but also because the state governor is also getting involved. Each side has its own matches. It's just a matter of who lights it up first and which explosion goes off first. We are now at critical mass right now. Each side is loaded to bear with reasons to hate each other. And like I said in my intro, this volley that's going to happen back and forth is going to be absolutely insane. Let's start out with the resistance side of the story. Like I said, Matt and Karen are just tired of their situation. But thanks to Karen, they have an AVTF agent with them. But is he, though? Because he says that he doesn't want a part of any of it. With Powell and all of them. They're crazy. If you disobey them, they're basically going to kill you. But he can give them access to the Freeport, because he has a special card that allows him to. But they change it every day at midnight. Every single day. Karen, of course, doesn't want to believe him. Matt, on the other hand, can believe him because, well, he's a lawyer, and also his hearing is also really good, so he knows when people are telling the truth. But he plays along and basically tells the dude, I'm going to rough you up a little bit, hand you back to your guys, and you tell him, that I did this, and if you're lying to me, I'm going to find you and I'm going to mess you up big time. So another thing that is going on that makes Matt and Karen a little bit apprehensive, shall we say, is the vigilante trials coming up. First up on the docket is Jacques Duquesne, swordsman. But it wasn't supposed to be this early. The state prosecutor in all this, Huckberg, he pushed up the trial by 2 weeks. So, I'm trying to find the person. Kirsten. There it is. Found it. Kirsten can't provide a adequate defense in time. She tries her best, and even has the help of, Jacques Duquesne to try and help, process some of the story. But even though she did get access to meet him, even for a little bit, she had to be blindfolded so that she didn't know where on earth she was. And had a little chat with Jacques before the trial. And Jacques was like, this is pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. This is just formality at this point. Just providing entertainment for the kings and all his fools. As that's pretty much all it is. And once they get to the trial, everything doesn't fall Kirsten's way. And, of course, Mr. Jacques Duquesne is declared guilty. So, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. But, of course, Fisk has his own troubles, because the state governor so anonymously got the Freeport deal that was signed all that time ago. And she says, look, Fisk, I understand what you've done with your task force, your Safer Streets initiative, all that stuff is to help better New York, and I think you've done a remarkable job at that. But this Freeport stuff, it's a bit overreaching, don't you think? And if this treaty is correct, then I have the power to basically put an end to all this. And of course, I don't think Fisk would very much like that. I also like the conversation that was had by Dr. Glenn and Buck at the governor's dinner. Buck basically assigning everyone roles. Kingpin, of course, being the king. Vanessa, the queen. The governess, the mark, the target. Daniel, who you think might be a jester at first, but could be a potential heir. Sheila as the chief. And Buck being the man-at-arms. And, Heather and Buck being kind of a little bit flirty, a little bit. So I thought that was a really, really cool conversation. But then, of course, we get down to brass tacks. Of course, Kirsten is, at the bar just drinking her anger away of the fact that she lost. And she gets bumped by someone. And that certain someone leaves a note on a napkin saying that she needs to go to her office now. And lo and behold, who's there at her office waiting? But Daredevil. And saying, I need you to tell me where you were and how you got to Jacques Duquesne. And Kirsten's like, I really can't tell you much because they put blackout goggles on me, so I really couldn't see a single thing. And Daredevil's like, that works perfectly for me. And is able to tell by the sounds that she described a breeze that went past her because there's a hole in the ceiling. The pigeons she heard up on the structure inside the warehouse. The water puddle that she stepped in inside. The metal staircase she walked down. The glass that she stepped over. all of those things benefited Daredevil in this instance. Which then leads to, in my opinion, a really, really good oneer in which Daredevil kicks a lot of the anti-vigilante task force's ass, frees everyone that is being held, including like the bodega guy, Jacques Duquesne, Angela's mom, so on and so forth. And we even get to see Duquesne's skills with some steel rods, I would assume, from the prison system that they had in place. And this oneer was really, really good. I have to give major, major props to Solvan on this, because it was really, really good. Granted, there were probably a lot of hidden cuts in this oneer, but still, this was really, really good. Kept the camera in constant motion, but even that didn't even hinder the fact that he captured the action really, really well and kept focus, like pivoted the focus at first between Daredevil and Jacques, and then showed like really cool moments in which Matt used his batons really, really well. And like, it was just a really, really good overall oneer. I think it was definitely better than the oneer that they had at the start of last season. Because I think with that one, there was a bit of CG that was used in that oneer. I mean, obviously, I think. And probably a lot of hidden cuts as well. This one, I didn't really seem to notice it that much, which I think is why it gets the higher marks, in my opinion. We then cut to outside with Powell and all the forces out there getting everything set up for when everybody comes out. Karen is also waiting at the free port, but then something behind her walks past. And then it walks past again in like the stuff that's stacked up on the free port. And it's Angela. And I made an oopsie in my first video. I said her last name was Angela Ayala. No, it's actually Angela Del Toro. So I'm glad I can make that correction in this episode, or in this review right here. But she's wearing Hector's necklace, white tiger necklace. And so she was there to rescue her mother, and also nabbed a few things from some of the task force, like their comms, some of their guns as well. So she knows what she's doing. Daredevil and the rest of the people that were kept inside that free port are pinned down by the task force when Karen drives up in a big armored vehicle, and this basically allows them to essentially load everyone up inside of that big, heavy armored vehicle and make their escape. Karen and Matt head off in like a normal car, and you think the task force might be going after them, but Angela was smart and slashed their tires so that they couldn't be able to chase after them. So Daredevil's made his first move, but when Powell is reiterating all of this to Kingpin, Kingpin makes his own move. Earlier in the episode, Powell had told all of the workers that were there, clearing out all of the shipments from the Northern Star, to basically get back on the ship, and you guys will be back with your families in no time. Oh, little did those workers know, because basically Kingpin told Powell, you know what to do, And what he did was basically blow up the entire Northern Star. And all the people that were on the ship are now dead. And Matt heard every single one of those people scream. So, Daredevil's made a move in getting all of the vigilantes out of Red Hook. Meanwhile, Kingpin has destroyed not only the ship, but also some very valuable, potential witnesses to what Kingpin was actually trying to bring into the city. So each side has made a move, a very explosive move. And I have a feeling that the fireworks are just getting started. I can't wait for episode 4. I'm so excited. So excited. And I will be waiting with bated breath to watch the next episode next week. But until then, guys, be safe out there. And remember to just keep your doors locked, because you don't know when a task force, an anti-vigilante task force, may come and, break your door down. And just make sure that you have your doors triple locked, just to be on the safe side. And I'll catch you guys next time.